Hello, beautiful people. It's your boy Dre Day, every day, accompanied by my co-host.
Bon 623.
And today we're here to talk about our personal favorite animes.
Hmm.
And so just for a little bit of not pertaining to the subject, I've acquired a couple of new devices, so I'm probably gonna be a little looking up and down. This is just for the viewers.
Hmm.
But other than that, like I'm in the watch club now. But got the Samsung Galaxy Watch and got the Pip Boy 3000. But anyway, hold on, let me set my timer. How about you leave off? Because I got to set a timer for this because I will lose track of time.
Um,
Want to lead off? Well, I guess, hold on. Personal favorite, like your number one. Do you have a number one that sits above? You can start with that one and then trickle down.
of course. My bitch Sailor Moon. That's my baby. Look, I got her sitting up there. I got a couple. I got Luna. I got a little Sailor Moon figurine. That one's not lit up. I got my tattoo. Like that's my baby. Period.
Oh, okay. Is Sailor Moon specifically Sailor Moon your favorite? Because it's like Sailor Venus, Sailor Mars, Sailor Jupiter. Sailor Moon's your favorite of the crew too?
Actually, Sailor Mercury was.
Oh, Sailor Mercury.
Mhm.
My niece used to watch it, and I just remember them. I don't know their personalities, but I know what they look like, and I think hell, I almost bought the toys just because I know them and they're so popular.
They're so iconic. Like Magical Girl. I never of course, would have known anything about that because we didn't have magical girl things before anime really like hit in America and became mainstream. So that was my first instance of learning about what magical girl genre was. And I've been obsessed ever since because it's me. That's my personality. The fact that I can't transform and get dressed in that way still bothers me to this day.
Yeah.
But we still make it through, as it were. But I wouldn't even say it might be a nostalgic thing because Sailor Moon, like her personal personality, she's a crybaby, and I can't quite understand how she's the leader of the Scouts as an adult looking back. But she's still my baby, and I will fight anybody that has anything negative to say, period.
What is it? Hold on. Fighting evil by moonlight.
We
So
by daylight, never running from a real fight.
she is the one called Sailor Moon.
That is my baby, period.
Right. Sweet. Well, I'm sure I've said before, my personal favorite anime is Monster, and my second favorite anime character ever is Johann Liebert from Monster. And basically, man, I've seen online people talk about it online because I don't know anybody in real life that knows Monster.
Mhm.
But I've seen some people say that it's so serious that it shouldn't even have been an anime. It's basically like a crime drama. But what I love about Monster is you have the Doctor Kenzo Tema, who's pretty much the protagonist.
Mhm.
Johann Liebert is the antagonist. Kenzo Tema is a neurosurgeon, the best neurosurgeon in the world, and he loves his job. He believes people should have a second chance in life and believes everyone has a purpose. While on the other hand, Johann Liebert doesn't believe in nothing. He believes people live for nothing, and he believes that um, everyone is just pretending to be good people when they really have something deep within him. He's lost his faith. Nihilism is his belief. So what happens is one day this doctor, Kenzo Tema, he receives a patient who had a bullet wound to the head. It was a little kid. He was 9 years old. He's the only doctor in the hospital that can do this surgery. And there's a little political aspect. Like he was so good that their hospital made news, and they would get to the point where high profile patients would come through, like the mayor, the city celebrity, so on and so forth. And the director of the hospital tried to make sure those high profile people got taken care of. But meanwhile, someone's grandmother that someone's grandmother who's not related to anybody, if that person dies, it doesn't make news. So the director doesn't care. But that doctor, Kenzo Timmy, he cares about if you put him in a room, he's gonna take care of that patient. So they pulled him off a patient before, and he saved the high profile patient, but the one they took him off of him died, and that bothered him internally, like to his core, because that was where he started. Anyway, one night, this little kid, 9 years old, comes into the hospital, gunshot wound to the head. Tim was the only person that can do the surgery. They tried to do the shit where they pulled him off of that kid, and he was like, "Nah, I'm working on this kid. I'm the only person here that can do that." The director told him like, "But we have the mayor of the city here." And he was like, "Okay, I don't care." Saves the little boy's life. Mayor dies, so on and so forth. Timma loses his popularity, the hospital loses its popularity, and the director says, "You will never advance in your career ever." Timma was like, "You know what? It's trash, but I saved the life that was put in front of me," which is cool for him. What's even worse is he was engaged to the director's daughter. She even left him for another man, like right in his face. Walked right in the house with another guy, took the engagement ring off and dropped it. It was like, really? But fast forward 10 years, different murders start popping up around the city. They some even make it back to the hospital. Come to find out, this 9-year-old boy that he killed, no, 9-year-old boy that he saved the life, grew up and became a terrorist. So now, so now you have this doctor who believes in saving lives. Um, he feels responsible for these murders, so he feels like he needs to go kill the kid, even though it's way outside his character. But he saved the life that's taking lives, so he picking the lesser of the evils, so to speak. So you spend the whole anime watching the pursuit of Tim pursuing the little boy, and the little boy is taking him. Well, not the little boy because he's 20 at the time, but Johann Liebert is basically trying to break him from that mentality of being all wholesome and good, and trying to show him that nothing matters. Even to the point where it got like it got really philosophical, where he's like something about like if you grew up in say a situation or a generation of people who everybody knew you, if everyone that knows you die, who are you? You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's what that was kind of. It's it's a lot to talk about because it's really deep. But yeah, he did things like that. He killed different people that was around him to the point to where everywhere Timma went, there were murders that happened because of Johann Liebert, and there's this detective named Lunge. He's on Timma's trail because he thinks he's doing the murders. It's funny how this kind of resembles the plot of No Country for Old Men to a degree. That's my second favorite movie. But so Lunge is following Timma, thinks Timma's doing the murders, but after when he gets close to Timma, he's like, this guy doesn't seem capable of murder. So just all in all, the whole concept of the anime is not so much about Johan and Timma. It's about the idea of the monster being inside of all of us. Who has a bigger monster within them? Because you through this anime, you see regular people. Somebody might give this person their jacket off of their back, but then right around the corner, there's somebody that gets ran over in the street in cold blood. So it's just like an anime of context,
Mhm.
context, and just things happening because we perceive the world black and white, like this is good, this is bad, when really it's just things happening, and we agree with it or we don't. But yeah, that's why I love Monster so much. The philosophical aspect of it, the real life application, and the question of what is. the monster, or is anybody really a monster, or is everybody a monster? It's just kind of like that little gray area. Wait, I'll tell you.
Well, that's not fun.
Y'all definitely not a fun anime. And Death Note's my second, and that's the most intense, smartest people in the room, one for good, one for bad. And yeah, so I'm trying to think, do I have a fun animated? I think the fun animated I like is One Punch Man. It's
Oh,
not in my yeah,
but yeah.
yeah, One Punch Man is fucking hilarious to me.
So my next one is Cells at Work. And
I remember you telling me about that. I definitely want to hear this one. Hear
yeah,
about this.
it's basically if you've ever seen the cartoon Osmosis Jones, where it's the medicine pill and then your osmosis cell inside the body. So it's taking place inside of a human body and it's your cells and everything doing their thing. And so, because of that, if I would have seen this while I was in massage school, I would have done a lot better in anatomy. But
Right.
you learn all about your blood cells, your T cells, the dendrites, the whatever the other cells are. I don't forget right now. White blood cells. But it's really cool because it's like an entire world inside of the human body. And so when something happens, so like say the body catches a cold, then all of the cells have to figure out what to do to keep themselves alive and keep the body alive.
Oh,
Because if something happens to the body, they're all going to die.
right.
It's really just
That's
like this interesting thing of like in one episode they'll have a cold and another episode they'll like fall and scrape their knee and then like all of this bacteria comes in, so then you have the blood platelets, they have to close the wound, but it's like really
shit. It sounds real sciencey. That's on where is that? Netflix? Is it on Netflix? I
I
think I seen
think
it
it
on Netflix.
was. I don't know if it's
I'm
still
gonna find that. That sounds sciencey. That's getting me.
is, and it's absolutely amazing, and it just really makes me like really care about like my blood cells, so when I get escape I'm like, oh no, my blood cells, my little red blood
Right. You
cells.
got to protect. Now you think about the little community inside, like, oh, you damaged the community.
And it's completely amazing. Like you learn all about your immune system and just like how many things are at play just for simple things, such as like when there's a high pollen outside and everything that your body has to go through in order to keep it like functioning, like for people that have really bad allergies and stuff. But then, so that one's like the fun one where it's like really like nice and cool. But then they have Cells at Work Code Black, and that's being inside an unhealthy body. And I've never been more mortified watching an anime before.
That's the one I'm gonna start with, and then I'm
Don't
gonna come to
start.
the.
No, but it's better if you start with the original one first, because then you get to know which all the blood cells and like all of the
Yeah,
different.
oh, stop. Cells at Work is first, and then Cold Black. Is it like an OVA, or is it like it's on? Because OVAs typically are like 3 or 4 episodes. Is it a whole 10,
No,
12?
it's like, yeah, it's like a whole season.
Gotcha.
'Cause,
I'm
I
definitely.
don't know
I'm
if
gonna look.
Code Black is, but and then since
Okay.
Code Black takes place in a different body, there's going to be different cells, like different characters that you get to know, but there's still like red blood cells and killer T cells,
Gotcha.
that sort of thing.
Gotcha.
But in the Code Black, that body, I think he might have been an alcoholic, he's a smoker. And at one point, at the end, the body starts to go into cardiac arrest.
That one must have been pretty
I've
intense.
never been so stressed out. It felt like when you're watching Attack on Titans and like things are happening, but it's
Yeah.
blood cells trying so hard to keep this body alive. And it's just like, it
Right.
really makes you think like, I need to eat well. I need to exercise.
Right.
I need to not do this. I need to cut back on smoking, on like weed and shit. Like I need to, because my blood cells are really like struggling if I do that. So it's great.
Speaking of Attack on Titan, it's my number 3.
Uh,
And
I'm
Levi,
still behind on it.
you say you hope?
I'm still behind.
Yeah, I'm caught all the way up, but it's definitely intense. Like from the way you describe you like animes, I could see how you could watch this one episode and it could be too much. But But Levi Ackerman, that's my favorite anime character, period. He has entirely too many of my personality quirks, from the OCD to the way he drinks coffee at the lip at the lip of the cup, not the handle. It kind of blew me like, what the fuck are these people doing? Like, this is scary. I've never seen anyone drink coffee like this because I'm such
Is
an
Levi
overthinker.
autistic?
Hmm.
Is he autistic?
They don't explore that. They don't explore that. You know what's funny is I met a
Doesn't
lady
really
that
give
talked.
me OCD.
Yeah, I was just want to say I had a lady I was talking to in 21. She told me that I might be high functioning autistic, and I'm like,
I think you are, to be honest.
yeah, I've heard that because I have a lot of quirks and things. But yeah, he reminds me too much of me. So, and that's outside of the badass that he is, but like just his person, that day to day personality quirks.
Mhm.
What I like about Attack on Titan is just the fact that you know, they have a lot of the discussions about time, the continuity. Like, I think it's a really well written story. I do kind of get lost with future memories and stuff like that, but that whole thing intrigues me because of I believe that everything is connected. So
Mhm.
the concept of, and I believe that one of the, it's like a philosophy that goes like, the more things change, the more they stay the same.
Mhm.
And then kind of like the bookend storytelling where you see the character that starts this way, and by the end of it, they end the same way they started. It seems like this is kind of, it seems like it has that type of feel to it. So Attack on Titan has a lot of different elements like that going on, a lot of things, a lot of passion that goes into it. Then you have like Gabby, who has Stockholm syndrome, but she's a child soldier. So she's fighting for Marley, but she's an Eldian. It's a lot of different little moving just different things for context. Sometimes a lot of times stuff isn't exactly as it seems, and sometimes it is. So that's what I like about Attack on Titan. Then my number four,
Before
um,
you jump off, which Titan was it that sees how things go and then never changes anything?
I believe, is that the founder?
I don't
Or
know.
maybe Aaron. Aaron has that, but the thing with Aaron, he has like three different Titans. At where we're at now, he has the Attack Titan, which is the long haired one with the sharp teeth that
Yeah,
he
it's that
basically can
fight.
fist fight. He has the Warhammer Titan, which is the one with the white skin that has the hammer and looks like a ski mask. But
Really?
they didn't even. It was in a few episodes, and then after he ingested the Titan, we haven't seen it since. But it's supposed to be upcoming in this
I liked the war.
final, final season. Oh, there's the cat. The final season, and then he has the Founding Titan, which is the
Mm.
colossal Titan. But his is a skeleton because he got his head shot off. And I guess I'm gonna have to put spoilers somewhere in here. But I mean, that goes with the territory. But yeah, he got his head shot off, and I'm guessing since he was decapitated from his body, his head touched Zeke Yeager's hands, and that's another thing that's kind of weird to me. Like when Eldians come in contact with royal blood, they can see the future. I'm not 100% clear on that, but the fact that when he got his head shot off and Zeke caught him, that was enough to keep him alive, to give him the ability to turn into the colossal titan, which ended up being a long skeleton. But it's like so massive that you can't do nothing with it.
Mm.
But yeah, what is my number four is The Promised Neverland, but only season one. That shit was really, really intense. And those kids are baby geniuses.
Mm.
They have this whole concept of these kids who are orphan kids, and they get adopted, and if they don't get adopted by age 12, they automatically get placed. So, the kids are going around like, hey, um, hey, such and such is whenever someone leaves, they have like a going away party that's kind of sad because everybody loves everybody. But in the first episode, you see that one of the kids got adopted and she left her favorite doll. And the kids were like, one of the main character kids, I can't remember their names. They were like, we can't let her go without her doll. So they follow and I forget what the mother of the whole house, Isabella. She's one of my favorite characters too. The mother always walks them out. They go looking to give the girl her bear, and they come across a wagon. They look in the wagon, and the girl is in there dead. And they're like, they're really caught off guard, and then there's these alien looking monsters that come out, and they're looking at these lists. So they come to find out that this orphanage, kids aren't getting adopted; they're actually being harvested to to get their brains to a ripe enough point to where they make the best feast for this alien life form. So they find out they're basically um, food, and then things get super intense, and then these kids come up with a way to escape and stuff like that. So it doesn't end dark, but it gets dark in the first episode. The first episode will show you everything that you need to know. But yeah, that's my number four.
Gosh.
Yeah, and then my number five, uh, I don't know. That's up in flux because, like I said, I'm still exploring anime. I could put Corpse Party Tortured Souls, but that's an OVA.
I was able to think of a few more. Did you ever see Case Closed with Detective Conan?
What is? Are you more of a what is that? Crunchyroll or Netflix anime, or just wherever you can catch it?
Wherever I caught it.
Yeah, I haven't seen that.
So Case
I'm a
Closed is about he was a teenage boy and for some reason he got turned back into like a kid's body, but he still has like his adult mind.
Erased. That's my number five. When you said that, it reminded me of Erased. But you can keep going.
So Case Closed is he's a genius and these insane cases, mysteries happen where someone like ends up dead. And so they're figuring out like how did this happen? So it's almost like watching like an anime Clue, but it's just
Mm.
such he figures out the case and it's just like this absolutely mind-blowing like how he got there because I never figured it out. And I feel like I'm pretty good at the game Clue. But just the steps that he takes, and it's like you think that everything is figured out and it's going to go this way, and he's like, no, I've got the real culprit. It was you after all, or whatever. And it's very like the twists and turns that he takes to be able to solve the case is so fascinating.
Yeah, see,
And
that's not
it's a very long series, but every is it episodic where every episode is like a standalone?
Oh, so there's a um there's an anime called like some kind of collection, the Junk. What is this? Let me pull this up. I have this right here on my Crunchyroll.
Hmm.
Some kind of collection where everything is the episodes don't have nothing to do with each other.
Mhm. But
That's kind of how that one is.
yeah. Well, for the most part, as far as the cases, there's still like the background of him being a kid and him wanting to try to get back into his body, his rightful body.
Yeah,
But since he is a kid, nobody takes him serious. So what he does is he like the adult that's with him, that's actually like the police investigator,
mhm.
shoots like a little sleeping dart at him and like makes him fall asleep, and then he talks into his bow to try to mimic the guy's voice, and so it's like the guy gets the credit for solving the case, but it's really Conan in the kid's body.
Okay. Yeah, this one I'm thinking about is called Junji Ito Collection,
Oh
but
geez.
it's supposed to be like horror. But all of the episodes, they're just different horror stories. But they're
Mm,
episode one doesn't have nothing to do with episode two. Kind of like I guess The Stranger Things is kind of like that, which is not anime, but it's like each episode doesn't have nothing to do with the other.
Stranger
Or
Things
Stranger
does. That is,
Stranger Things does.
yeah.
Oh, okay. I was introduced to Stranger Things kind of weird. It
Mm.
was back in like 2016, but I think that I don't know. I didn't watch enough of it to see, but yet somebody told me to start at like episode 6 in season 2 or something. I was like, okay, but
Oh, no, they
that's
like.
a little bit, yeah, that's a little bit off topic. But I'll throw in there the thing about Erased. Erased is about it's about this kid that wants to be a manga artist, an aspiring manga artist, and he messed around and goes outside and sees this blue butterfly, and then he sees like a car accident and people got hurt really really bad, and then he snaps back to he sees the blue butterfly, but this go around he knows that a car accident is about to happen, so he starts trying to stop the car accident from happening. It has a Final Destination type of vibe to it. You
Mm.
know how in Final Destination he would see the premonition and then it would actually happen.
Mhm.
So what ends up happening is something happens one day and he comes home and his mom gets killed, right? And when his mom gets killed, he goes all the way back to his childhood. But the thing about this, he doesn't come back to reality. So there's something about his childhood that he has to figure out. It's something in his childhood he ignored, which led to his mom getting killed in the present that he had to figure out. So you kind of spend the whole anime kind of figuring out what what did he miss, what did he not do, and who's the creepy person. I've seen a lot of people say they figured out who the creepy person was, but I enjoyed it. It was 12 episodes, and I believe it's on Netflix if they haven't taken it down. So
I think I just saw a K drama that might have a similar premise to that. I wonder if it's based off of that then.
K drama,
Korean.
that's not a, but yeah, but it's not cartoonish. It's in okay. You do a lot of Korean stuff. Huh?
I dabble.
You dabble, yeah. You be out there in them Korean streets. You really out here. That's a bit.
my
That's cool though.
my next two, I watched them in their entirety and I really enjoyed them, but I can't full blown remember how they go.
How they go, yeah.
So it's Rosario Vampire,
Okay.
which it's a premise of it's like a monster, an all-female monster school, and a human boy finds his way there accidentally. And so naturally he gains this harem of monster girls that are in love with him. But the one that he likes back is Rosario Vampire. And so long as she has her necklace choker thing on, she's like cute and bubbly and stuff. But if you pull it off, then she becomes like her actual self. And she's like uh, a vampire, merciless, murderous, basically.
Right.
So you only like take her chain off purely by accident, or if like shit's hit the fan and you really need to, if you need help. But otherwise, if you keep it on, then she's cool and whatnot.
Is
Uh,
it kind of like that reminds me of that made me think of Corpse Party Torture Souls, where the kids go and do a friendship ritual where they have the little paper cutouts of you know how you had a paper cutouts of people and then when you open it out it looks like a bunch of people holding hands. It
uh-huh.
could be like seven. I don't know what they're called, but it's like yeah, they're cut out a boy, girl, boy, girl, boy, girl, or all boys or all girls. But yeah, when you hold it out, it looks like all of them are holding hands. But anyway, these kids wanted to do a friendship ritual, and they did one of those, and each one grabbed a piece that was represented a person. So this one grabbed probably 6 or 7, and all 6 of them grabbed it. They said whatever they said, and then they tore their piece off and they put it in their pocket. But after they did this, the ground opens up and they fall into another dimension, and they fall into a dimension where there was a school that used to exist that had like a massacre, but now they're in the reality where all of the dead souls of those kids are zombies, and they're trying to kill them, and they're trying to get back to reality. Oh,
Nothing like that whatsoever, but I do think I actually saw Markiplier play that game.
I have it. Yes, yeah, I have both of them. They're on Nintendo Switch.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
because I feel like I know I've saw that game. The premise sounds really familiar.
yeah. That shit is but yeah, but the anime is based off. It's 4 episodes. That shit is so potent. But I
Huh,
mean, I guess you can tell. Like, I like dark and twisted shit.
yeah. Uh, but my next one is Triple X Holic, or maybe it's just called Holic. I don't know.
Okay.
That one is it's kind of like a morality. Like every episode teaches you like a different moral clause, kind of like Hellgirl,
Mhm.
where something I don't even full blown remember what it was, but I remember it at the end of every episode, you would like get a lesson at the end of it. And it was really dope. And what I really like about Triple X Holic is the anime style or animation style because they're all really tall and really thin.
Mhm.
And it reminds me of the what is the name of those? All right, come back to me. Let me look up.
Yeah. Let me see. I've seen some other another anime that I was watching that I really liked and I stopped was called Psycho-Pass. And it reminded me of Minority Report
Oh,
with
I got
their
it.
friend.
The South Sudanese, the Dinka people, how they're so tall.
Oh, okay.
It's like that. It's amazing.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Wait. But in Psycho-Pass, you're basically they're detectives and they have this gun that's called the Dominator, right?
Hmm.
Now when they aim the Dominator at a person, um, depending on their nature, well, not necessarily their nature, it's like their state of being at the moment. The gun will be if you're a truly innocent person, supposedly, if you're a truly innocent person, the gun will not go off. If you're like a high risk or like a person that's like, let's say if you're going off some drugs and all your vital
What's this
signs are
called
elevated,
again?
this is called Psycho-Pass.
I watched that.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
and
that
so
was
when
fire.
yeah, and so when you if your vital signs are elevated, the gun will be lethal.
Mhm.
But what ended up happening was the girl who they brought in, she was noticing that when she aimed the Dominator at a person, they there was one I think one guy he didn't do anything, but he was scared of going to jail and scared of getting shot. But the Dominator perceived that his senses are elevated, but you know that it was speaking to the autonomous nature of if everything went fully automated and there was no human component, that it's like the wrong decisions could get made. So it's like, hey, the Dominator's saying this guy is dangerous, but her human perception, like she can see the fear in his eyes. So you spend that anime seeing her. Well, I didn't watch all of it, but I was figuring that she was gonna you're gonna spend the anime watching her fight with her uppers about the Dominator being wrong in the field. It's designed on a the idea is designed on is good, but still in actual practice, there are certain instances where just because the signs are raised, it doesn't mean that this person is violent, you know. So
Yeah.
I really thought that was cool. I need to finish that one.
It was kind of in the same vein as like Minority Report where they would
Yes,
catch you before
exactly.
you caught committed the crime, but
They
it's
tried to they tried to catch the crime before it happened,
mhm.
but that's ultimate. But yeah, that's kind of why I like that one.
That's cool. I
I,
almost forgot about Tenchi Muyo, which I'm so embarrassed about. But it's another harem anime where it's one guy and like nine women that are deeply in love with him for some reason. He's just a regular dude. Um, but it's just a show of like hijinks and him trying to live his life and each of the girls trying to get him to fall in love with them in particular and like fighting each other over him and stuff. I want to watch it again as an adult to see if I like see it. Why
right.
why they want him so much.
Right, right.
Yeah, that was just one of those childhood ones, like Sailor Moon, like it was on Toonami, so it was my first introductions.
Yeah, and I can't not mention my Ronin Warriors because that's what started me. Well, like I said, I'm way outside of the anime head. I'm
Mhm.
still on the outside looking in, even though I like obscure anime titles. But that Ronin Warriors, it it just paired well with me liking Power Rangers, VR Troopers, Ninja Turtles. Just the team of 3 to 5 people, and they all have different personality types. And when they come together, this person has this skill set, this person has that skill set, and
Mm.
as a group, they become stronger. So yeah, I like Ronin Warriors, Samurai Troopers, and that's was my first anime.
And that's about time.
Yeah, it's about time right there. I wonder if we should do bad animes that we didn't like, because I got some of those too.
I might have
You
some.
might have some. We'll look into it.
I have to dig in my memory.
What are some of you guys' favorite animes? Put it in the comments. Don't cuss us out because we didn't say Dragon Ball Z or Naruto.
Oh. I like Dragon Ball Z, but it doesn't. It's not that like it's a nostalgic thing,
It's iconic, but it's like
but it's not.
people say I like anime and they say they like Dragon Ball Z. It's like, do you know any other anime? That's usually my thing with the Dragon Ball kids. But Dragon Ball's cool. Broly's my favorite character. I like the bad guys: Broly, Kid Buu, Jiren,
I
Beerus.
like Trunks the most. No, no.
Trump was fire, and when they killed him, I was, bruh, that hurt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Vegeta was screaming. Oh, that was such a bad day.
yes, it was.
Mm, man.
But yeah, I guess until next episode,
Yeah.
we'll get you 2 weeks. Peace.
Bye.